Station. This is Danielle from the Royal Institution in London. How do you hear me?
I hear loud and clear.
Excellent. Hi, Samantha. It's great to be talking to you from the Royal Institution Christmas Lectures.
Hello everybody. Great talking to you.
Now, one of the most fascinating things about this for me is I'm actually talking to you on my mobile phone. But I'm guessing that your mobile phone doesn't work up there. So how do you communicate with your friends and family?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I've been up here for about 3 weeks and I have never thought about my mobile phone once, while when I'm on Earth, I'm constantly checking my mobile phone. So I guess I am getting over my mobile phone addiction. But we are not disconnected from our family and friends up here. We have access to the internet. It's somewhat slow, but we do have it. And then we have the possibility of giving them a call over an IP, a voice over IP phone. And once a week, typically on the weekend, we can even see them. We have a two-way video conference where we can see them and they can see us.
That's amazing. And is it a weird feeling for you to be very distant, to be literally the most distant woman from Earth at the moment, but actually feel very connected at the same time?
I guess I've come to expect it to be this way because the ISS, the space station, has been very well connected for years now. So sometimes I find it even paradoxical when people think about my job as being an astronaut on the space station as being very isolated. And it's true that physically, of course, I am very far away. But compared to many other jobs, I actually have really good possibilities of connections. I'm thinking about people who, I don't know, are deployed on submarines or are doing winter overs in Antarctica. I think we on the space station are way more connected with Earth and with our fellow human beings and friends and family than those folks are.
Yes, I think you're right. So in these lectures, we are talking about communication and the limitations of communication. And it's really wonderful that we can hear and see you from space. But that's just using two of our senses. And so what we're trying to explore in the lectures is, can we go to the next level and use our other senses to communicate? So wouldn't it be great to be able to reach out and touch somebody who wasn't there? And share an experience of all of the rest of their senses. For you in space, what is the next big goal or challenge in terms of communication?
Well, I can think of simple things like, for example, right now we don't have continuous coverage on board in terms of satellites. Sometimes our antennas are just not able to pick up a satellite for a few minutes, sometimes even 10, 15 minutes. And so we, for that period of time, we say we are in loss of signal, so we lose communication. So one next step could be to have continuous coverage. Another next step could be to make it easier on board, for example, having wireless headsets. While now, most of the time, we use headsets or microphones that are connected via a long cable. But then, of course, what you say is interesting, to be able to see the world through somebody else's eyes or even being able to touch them. I think there is an interesting technology demonstration which is co-developed by ESA, which is going to fly with a fellow European astronaut of mine, Andrew Morgensen, next year. So I'm not too involved with it, so I hope I'm not saying anything misleading. But I think the point is really that, to try and demonstrate that technology, sort of an augmented reality technology where people on the ground can see what the astronaut sees, and the astronaut can have overlays that augment reality with information that can be sent from the ground.
Well, that all sounds absolutely fantastic and very, very fascinating, and I'm sure it would inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers to get into that work, which is what we want to do in the Christmas lectures. So from your point of view, what should the next generation of engineers and scientists be working on to help achieve those communication goals that you need from space?
Well, I think the next generation of engineers and scientists should be working on stuff that I cannot even imagine right now, because that's really the cool thing about being the next generation. You know, I think you should, you know, try find your own path, and especially at the beginning of your career when you're not into the that professional environment for that long, you can really think out of the box and come up with new solutions. So I don't want to you know, shed any light on any preconceived path, but on the contrary, I would encourage people to really think out of the box and maybe come up with some revolutionary ideas.
That's brilliant. I'm sure that'll be very, very inspiring for them as well. Thank you. So you've only been in space for a few weeks now. What have you found most surprising about microgravity?
I guess I'm surprised by how much I have enjoyed it. I am enjoying it. I thought, you know, it would be something that would be fun for a few days and then I would just get used to it and get over it. But, you know, it's just, I keep enjoying it so much. This feeling of floating, it's something so new and different from what we're used to. And, you know, sometimes I find myself thinking that it had never been different, that I've been floating all my life, but of course that's not the case. And I find myself exploring new ways of, you know, controlling my body and my attitude and my orientation and flying through the station. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it yet, so that's fun too, that I'm learning every day.
That's good. So can you do some practice now? Because I'm sure all of the audience would like to know, have you perfected your somersault yet?
Well, to be honest, I've done only one somersault the other day, and that was by mistake. I didn't intend to, so I will hold off from that. It was wonderful. It was really great. I mean, everybody was impressed, except that I didn't intend to do it. But so I will hold off from that for now, and it'll be for a later call.
So yeah, you can keep perfecting it, and then we'll keep tracking you on Twitter, and you can tell us when you perfected it.
Yes, definitely, I will.
Okay. Now, obviously, these are the Christmas lectures, so we're very close to Christmas. So how do you celebrate Christmas on the International Space Station? It must be so different to being at home.
Well, of course, it's definitely a day in which we have time set aside to talk to our family and friends. As I've mentioned before, we have these opportunities of video conferences, and on special holidays like Christmas, of course, there's time set aside for that. And then, of course, we'll spend time together. We have a little Christmas tree here, which is planted, so to speak, upside down in our main lab. And our commander, Butch Wilmore, has been so thoughtful to set up some, I guess I'm missing the words, but you know, things for us to gather, gifts for each other, so that on Christmas Day, hopefully, all of us will have gifts from our crewmates, and it can be something simple like somebody's favorite drink that you come across, and you put it aside for them, so that it's going to be a fun experience on Christmas Day to see what your crewmates have set aside for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it'd be interesting to see what sort of gifts that you give each other, if they're sort of the normal gifts that you would give each other on Earth, or they have a sort of a space theme to them as well.
Well, you know, some of us might have thought ahead. I have, for example, and sent up some little things as Christmas gifts for the crewmates. But as I said, it might just be that you know, of the supplies that are on board, you know, that one of your crewmates really enjoys. For example, a special dessert that you normally would only come across maybe once a month, and then you set that aside when you find it, and then that person is gonna be able to enjoy their favorite dessert for Christmas.
Yeah, that's really nice. So in the lectures that we've already filmed so far, we've been looking at some wonderful pieces of technology, and one of them is haptic technology, and we have seen how it can be used for trainee vets, for example, and it was just amazing. I was using this piece of haptic technology, and it was fantastic. And I'm guessing that haptic plays quite a big role in the technology for the ISS. Is that right?
Not quite, but definitely something for the future. And I'm not directly involved with it, but I know that there is an experiment that specifically studies this or aims at developing haptic technology. So definitely something for the future.
That's great, and I think that will also inspire the next generation of engineers and scientists as well. So it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you, Samantha. Thank you so much for all your time. I think you're truly inspiring all of the next generation of engineers and scientists down on Earth.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation, and well, happy Christmas.
And happy Christmas to you too, Samantha. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you, ESA and the Royal Institution. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communication.